Bitcoin price is set to be 100 times more in 10 years than it is today. Everything's unfolding real quick, with Tesla accepting Bitcoin as a payment option, price skyrocketing, and hedge funds buying in huge amounts of crypto. Let's take a look at some of the latest and most important crypto news for today. Now, before we start, make sure you subscribe to Crypto Academy for your daily dose of crypto news, and also turn on bell notifications so you will be notified when we upload, since YouTube doesn't always recommend videos of people you're subscribed to. Also, leave a like on this video so we know if we should make more similar videos. Having said that, let us get right into the video. Before we discuss whether Bitcoin can be 100 times more in 10 years, we must first of all ask ourselves if Bitcoin will be around in 10 years to come, or rather, what will happen to Bitcoin in the next decade? Well, one thing that stands out is that the decade we're in currently is of so much significance on Bitcoin's evolution. Currently, the cryptocurrency is poised between being a store of value and a medium for daily transactions. Institutional investors are eager to get in on the action and profit from the volatility in its prices, even as governments around the world such as Japan have declared it as a valid form of payment for goods. On the other hand, the future of Bitcoin is faced with one huge hurdle: security. According to Chaki Buddha, CTO at Rambus, a payment firm, arguably the biggest failings for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies over the previous years lies with security. According to him, a secure Bitcoin ecosystem will lead to widespread adoption. We expect in 10 years' time, Bitcoin will become mainstream and have a remarkably different reputation, he says. On the other hand, Citi agrees that Bitcoin could be the currency of choice for international trade. Moreover, Citi noted that Bitcoin's future is still very uncertain, but that it's on the cusp of mainstream acceptance. So, the answer to your question is a resounding yes. Bitcoin will be there in the next 10 years, and in fact, it will be bigger and better. Having asserted that Bitcoin will be there in 10 years, what do experts and market watchers forecast on the future prices of Bitcoin? Shervin Pishevar, a venture capitalist and angel investor who co-founded Hyperloop One and Sherpa Capital, called on Bitcoin to reach $100,000 by the end of 2021 on Twitter. Meanwhile, Citibank's Thomas Fitzpatrick made headlines for his Bitcoin prediction of $318,000 by 2022 after his report was leaked on the internet in late 2020. Thomas's analysis drew similarities between the gold market of the 1970s and Bitcoin's price action, in particular gold's $20 to $35 range before its surge in 1971. He also cited the acceleration in money printing by central banks since the emergence of COVID-19, which may fuel the Bitcoin run. Moving on, you all must have heard of the famous Winklevoss Twins. These Bitcoin billionaires stated that Bitcoin could potentially reach a price of $500,000 by 2030, which would put its market cap on par with that of gold, which is around $9 trillion. Our thesis is that Bitcoin is gold 2.0, that it will disrupt gold, and if it does that, it has to have a market cap of $9 trillion, so we think it could price one day at $500,000 of Bitcoin, Tyler Winklevoss said. Elsewhere, Wences Casares, the founder and CEO of Zarpo, a Bitcoin wallet startup, and a PayPal board member, believes that Bitcoin will hit $1 million sometime before 2027. Even better, he believes that Bitcoin could hit $1 million in as few as 5 years, saying on May 23, 2017, that the milestone will be reached in 5 to 10 years. Casares' $1 million price prediction for Bitcoin may sound ridiculous, but he isn't the only one who's ever predicted such an overwhelming amount for Bitcoin. Chamath Palihapitiya, founder of Social Capital and co-owner of the Golden State Warriors, is another expert who has ever made such a prediction on Bitcoin. Palihapitiya's Bitcoin journey started with an investment back in 2012, and by 2013, he had included Bitcoin in his hedge fund, general fund, and private account. You remember the point. Palihapitiya owned 5% of all Bitcoin in circulation. Interesting, huh? In a 2017 interview with CNBC, Palihapitiya predicted that Bitcoin price would reach $100,000 in the next 3 to 4 years, adding that it would reach a price of $1 million by 2037. He was quoted saying, "This thing has the potential to be comparable to the value of gold. This is a fantastic hedge and store of value against autocratic regimes and banking infrastructure that we know is corrosive to how the world needs to work properly. I think this thing is $100,000 a coin in the next 3 to 4 years, and in the next 20 years will be $1 million. How about the naysayers? What should we tell them? One thing we should tell to the Bitcoin naysayers is that they should not be too quick to dismiss this magical digital currency. Howard Marks, the co-founder and co-chairman of Oaktree Capital Management, can confirm that. Most recently, the Oaktree founder changed his mind about Bitcoin as demand and prices jumped 10 times. Howard Marks has warmed up to Bitcoin after he admitted that he had a knee-jerk reaction to the cryptocurrency and dismissed it too soon. Since then, the price of Bitcoin has risen tenfold as demand for the cryptocurrency soars among retail and institutional investors. As institutional investors become increasingly interested in Bitcoin and major companies have announced their investments in the cryptocurrency, Mark said, "I'm opening my mind on Bitcoin. I was knee-jerk, skeptical," while clarifying that while Bitcoin doesn't have an intrinsic value, the same can be said of the dollar and many other things that have value, like paintings and diamonds. "I've been more sensitized to the supply-demand case." Marks further noted that the supply of Bitcoin is fixed, unlike the dollar, which can be printed in infinite amounts, adding that the demand for Bitcoin is growing because more people are interested in it. However, he pointed out that it's a little circular because people want it because it's going up in price, and it's going up in price because people want it. Commenting on his initial dismissive reaction to Bitcoin, Marks admitted, "Now I've learned how much I don't know, so you shouldn't talk about things you don't know about." While many predict the overwhelming growth in future Bitcoin prices, others are already working to make it happen through introduction of different platforms that are using Bitcoin as their only form of payment. Speaking of this, have you heard about the Bitcoin Cash-powered only coins that aims to compete with the popular content platform OnlyFans? Recently, Bitcoin Cash proponents have been introduced to a new application that competes with the content subscription service OnlyFans. The web portal, OnlyCoins, is a service that is similar to OnlyFans, but instead, creators can earn Bitcoin Cash by posting quality content and gathering subscribers. OnlyCoins is a digital content marketplace where creators can receive funds directly from fans, just like the OnlyFans. But unlike OnlyFans that takes 20% commission from content creators, OnlyCoins only takes a 10% commission. With the emergence of such Bitcoin-powered platforms, it's a guarantee that the digital currency can hit the 100 times in 10 years or even earlier. As we conclude, we have an interesting question for you. Would you leave your partner after a disagreement on a decision concerning Bitcoins? Well, apparently, a wife left her husband after he refused to sell Bitcoin at $60,000 and instead bought the dip. While the news of Bitcoin prices surpassing the $60,000 milestone earlier this week woke up a massive wave of joy across the crypto community, the news didn't bring happiness to one married couple who split up after a dispute on whether to sell Bitcoins at that price or not. Well, who do you think was right? Leave your answer in the comment section below. We'd love to hear. And that was it for today's video. Please like this video so we know if we should make more similar videos. Subscribe and turn on bell notifications if you haven't already, so you can stay up to date with the most important crypto news. And we'll see you tomorrow in another video. Take care.